hasn't pulled the best draw. There's been 20 nominations, and as fate has it, he had to go and pull one of the worst draws possible. He pulled 17 draw. But the fields have been cutting up of late, and I'm praying to God that the field does cut up and that he comes into a reasonable draw. Obviously, being inside track, I don't want to run him from a bad draw because I'd hate him to have a rough race, having his first experience in the country. So all depends upon draw.
Is it imperative that he wins his first start here?
No, not at all. That's the fortunate thing about training for Jamie, Marissa and Gaynor. There's no pressure on the horse. They do realise, they're sportsmen, and they realise that the horse it's all a build-up into bigger things later on. So there's absolutely no pressure on the horse, and they would prefer that there's no pressure on him for his first run. But you know, he's a big horse and you don't want him running a dismal type of race. You'd like him to be reasonably competitive.
I think it's important for people to realise that he's a horse that comes with very, very serious Grade 1 form.
Well, Andrew, you know, he's only raced 4 times. He won 3 on the turf. The only time that he was defeated was on the dirt. His wins on the turf with Consume It Easy won by 6 lengths, 16 lengths and 5.5 lengths. I was speaking to Robin Bruss the other day. The one horse that he beat over there in Argentina by some 16 lengths has won 5 Grade 1s. He's the horse of the year in Argentina. He won the equivalent of the Queen's Plate in Argentina. So he's done quite a bit, and the horse that he beat over there has done quite a bit. So there's a bit of pressure on this horse, and a bit of pressure on me to make him fulfill the reputation on him. You know, but horses are funny things. Some horses go on and some stay in places, and maybe that horse has gone on. But I'm not saying that this horse hasn't done well. He's doing well. We're very, very happy with him. He's in a good space, and we're expecting him to show his mettle when we get him back on the track.
Right, Gov, just the 2 runners on Saturday, starting off in the first with a horse called Mars Man, a son of Mambo in Seattle.
Yeah, nice little horse, Andy. Been quite fractious and difficult to sort of train up for the gates, but you know, obviously worked on him very hard, and he's going in nicely now. So I just hope that's not an issue. It shouldn't be. But quite talented, fit enough to go a mile first time, and you know, I don't really know what to expect, but definitely one to be included, I think, in all bets.
Now, if my memory serves me correctly, I can very clearly remember Milan de Toy working with his mother. I think Charles Laird had his mother. She was very talented indeed.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure of her history, but she obviously was quite talented. She got small black type. I think she won 5 races. But in Costa del Lago, you know, they're not the easiest, or they weren't the easiest. And the Mambo in Seattle's are not the easiest either. So just a bit of a hot recipe there. But and not a bad little horse, you know, and very athletic. He was a small little horse, light little guy, but very athletic. And like I say, when I say I don't know what to expect, if he puts up the kind of showing that he's turned in at home, then he would be competitive.
Excellent. Now, the last time Ali Bon Dubai ran, I chatted to Tim. He wasn't overly bullish because he said he's waiting for his coat to turn, but he had been putting up some good work. He duly obliged quite emphatically.
Yeah, it's true. I thought he looked awful, actually, that day. I was a little bit ashamed to put a horse in the ring with a long coat like that, but he did win well. But I must say, he looks wonderful now. His coat really has started to shine up, and he's close to a summer coat now. Good work again, and I like the way he won his maiden plate. I thought, like you say, he won it pretty emphatically. And he looked like on the strength of that run, he could possibly, you know, follow up and win again. Always difficult, isn't it, first time out of the maidens to know quite what you've got. But midfield draw, Callum back on him again, and yeah, I don't think he's chanceless. I think you know, he's obviously had the horse sickness vaccine, and so you worry a little bit when they come back from that because it's not such a nice vaccine. But he looks great, his work's good, and yeah, I would say that he's got to be included, Andy, for sure.
Clayton, as always, thanks for your time. Starting off in race 1 with a horse called Captain My Captain, who's backed up by Mutawari.
Yes, Mr. Bon. Captain My Captain, he's in a very good space at the moment. He's had a few runs down in Cape Town. He's placed in 2 starts and also ran in a feature, which I believe is quite good form. There's been many winners out of that form line. Like I said, in a very good space at the moment. Look, the trip I think will probably suit him as well. I'm expecting a decent run from him.
Mutawari?
Yeah, Mutawari, obviously, he's been slightly disappointing, you know, sort of really doesn't produce his work back at home. Look, we're trying different things with him, putting him over different trips, different distances, trying to change his training program. So we'll see how he goes there.
Okie dokie. Then on to the second race where we've got Hurricane Lass.
Yeah, she's improved smartly from her first start. She has made necessary improvement, and I believe she's crying out for the trip as well. You look from a good draw, Washang on her. I think she's a massive runner there as well.
Okay, then in race 5, some people like to have a little each way, but you've got only to win.
Yeah, look, her first start out of the maidens was a very decent effort behind Mr. AZZIE's horse there. I feel she's just about ready for a decent run again. You know, her work's been very good. I'm very happy with the way she's coming along, and I don't think she'll disgrace herself on Saturday.
All right, then the colours of Jessica Slack was seen to good avail the other day with a very impressive Cascapedia. She now has a very well-bred filly in Silver Thursday. Yes,
Silver Thursday, obviously the trip will be ideal for her. I do feel she's doing very nicely. Her work has been very good. I'm very happy with her progress. Look, all things go well. I do think that she'll run a very good race on Saturday.
And then finally, the most impressive looking horse we've seen for quite some time in Toro Rosso, but he really is up against a top class field.
Yeah, it does look very competitive there. Look, in all fairness, he's got a good draw. The last time he was still in need of the run, he moved up and then just got tired. From a good draw on that track, I don't think he'll disgrace himself. He's in a good space at the moment. His work's been very good, and Anthony obviously knows him quite well. So I think he'll be quite competitive in that field.
So it could be a mother and daughter day.
Yeah, look, we're hoping for the best. Obviously, all our runners, you know, we've tried to prepare them as the best of our ability. And look, if they do bring their work from home to the track on Saturday, I mean, I'm expecting decent runs from most of them.
Yeah, you've got a bit of pressure on you because with the boss and the boss's son away on a little bit of a holiday, which is well deserved. Bit of pressure for you?
Yes, I totally agree with you. You know, the family's away on holiday, they're enjoying themselves, which is lovely. It's nice. I'm still in contact with Mike and Matthew every day. So look, I'm just keeping the ball rolling for them, and I'm only too glad to do it for them.